What if I told you that the most underrated man in the entire Bible, not Moses, not David, not Solomon, actually finished what God started? Moses got the glory. Joshua got the job. And the job? Conquer an entire land. Lead 2 million people. Fight giants. And do it all without the burning bush, without the parting seas, without the legendary reputation. Just a man, a mission, and a God who kept saying, "Be strong and courageous," 4 times, in a row, in one chapter. When God has to tell you that many times not to be scared, you know what's coming is terrifying. So, who was Joshua? And why does his story still matter today? Let's talk about it. You'll definitely learn something here. These are the types of content I create. If you're interested, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss upcoming videos. Joshua wasn't born famous. No angelic announcement, no miraculous birth story. He just shows up in scripture, already fighting, already leading, already winning. His real name was Hosea, meaning simply salvation. But Moses looked at this young soldier and saw something deeper and renamed him Yehoshua. God is salvation. That name change wasn't just personal, it was prophetic. Moses declared Joshua's destiny decades before Joshua lived it out. Think about that. Your name becomes your mission before you even know what the mission is. He spent 40 years as Moses' personal assistant. 40 years watching, serving, learning, never complaining, never competing. While others grumbled and rebelled, Joshua stayed loyal. Most people would have quit or staged a coup. Joshua made the coffee and kept showing up. For sure, your whole body will tremble, your brain will explode, and you will definitely be blown away if you learn that. 12 spies are sent into Canaan, the promised land, to scout it out. 12 men, same land, same giants, same fortified walls, and 10 of them come back absolutely terrified. "We look like grasshoppers compared to them." That's a quote from grown men, professional soldiers, calling themselves grasshoppers. But Joshua and Caleb, different energy entirely. Joshua stands up in front of a crowd that is ready to stone him and says, "Do not rebel against the Lord. Do not be afraid of the people of the land." The crowd nearly kills them. But suddenly the people saw the dazzling light of the Lord's presence appear over the tent. God intervenes. And right there, that moment of lonely, courageous, possibly suicidal faith, that was Joshua's job interview, and he got the position. Missing epic stories you didn't even know you craved? Your golden scroll time deserves better. Join us or show up to hangouts with nothing interesting to share. Your call. Moses dies on Mount Nebo, and God doesn't give Joshua a moment to breathe. God tells Joshua, Moses is gone, it's go time, and Canaan is basically theirs for the taking. Cross the Jordan, take the land, stay brave, obey the law, and don't panic because I've got you. Joshua tells the people, pack the snacks, we move in 3 days. The eastern tribes get a quick reminder. Your families can chill here, but your soldiers still have to ride with the squad until everyone's land is secured. The people basically reply, say less. We're with you, Joshua. Just be strong and don't mess this up. No transition period, no therapy, no morning leave, just move. And Joshua moves. He's now responsible for approximately 2 million people camped beside a flooding river. But here's what nobody talks about. It's early morning, and Joshua's crew is packing up to cross the Jordan River. 3 days in, the hype men stroll through camp like, keep your eyes on the ark, God's GPS. Don't get too close though. Joshua's like, consecrate yourselves. Tomorrow God's doing something epic. The priests grab the ark, march ahead, and boom, God tells Joshua, I'm about to make you legendary. As the priests step into the overflowing river, the waters literally stop, like pile up in the distance level stop. Everyone crosses on dry land, jaws drop, hearts racing. Flooded river? No problem. Faith plus the ark equals miraculous dry ground and one seriously awestruck nation. He did this so that all the peoples of the earth might know that the hand of the Lord is powerful, and so that you might always fear the Lord your God. They are now staring at the most fortified city in Canaan, Jericho. And God's battle plan for Jericho? March around the walls, blow trumpets, shout. Imagine being a general and receiving those orders. Imagine explaining that to your army. Yes, men, we're going to walk in circles for a week, trust me. But Joshua did it, and the walls, they fell. So the Lord was with Joshua, and his fame spread through the whole country. There are those who believe in every whisper, and there are those who don't seem to bother much. The question is, what can we gain from this? Joshua and his squad pulled a full-on overnight surprise attack on the Amorites, and God basically said, "Don't stress, I've already handed you the win." The enemy panicked, ran for their lives, and then the sky joined the fight with giant hailstones doing more damage than the army itself. Then came the moment that literally stopped time. During one battle, Joshua needed more daylight to finish the fight. So he prayed what might be the most audacious prayer in human history. On the day that the Lord gave the men of Israel victory over the Amorites, Joshua spoke to the Lord. In the presence of the Israelites, he said, "Sun, stand still over Gibeon. Moon, stop over Ajalon Valley." The sun stood still, and the moon did not move until the nation had conquered its enemies. Moses parted a sea, Elijah called down fire, but Joshua stopped the sun. The Bible itself says this event happened. Scientists debate it. Skeptics question it. Tired of surface-level scrolls? You secretly crave the deep-cut stories that flip your worldview and spark vibes like, wait, really? We dish out accuracy-packed, passion-fueled truth bombs to make you the most anticipated person in the room. Unlock your inner know-it-all. We're just the spark. This next part changed everything for me. And I need to be honest with you because Joshua wasn't perfect. His biggest military blunder, the Gibeonites showed up wearing worn-out clothes and sandals, carrying moldy bread, pretending to be broke and harmless from a distant country. And Joshua, the great military commander, fell for it completely. Scripture says plainly, the Israelites did not inquire of the Lord. Joshua did not seek God's counsel first. He signed a peace treaty with enemies he was supposed to defeat. That small decision led to a long-term covenant Israel had to honor. He was deceived. They said, "We tricked you, sir, because we heard God told Moses to wipe out everyone, and we were terrified of you." So, because of the treaty, he protected them instead of killing them. But the catch was brutal. They became permanent woodcutters and water carriers for Israel and for God's altar. So basically, they got to live, but as very unhappy janitors. And because of that treaty, when the Amorites attacked the Gibeonites, Joshua was forced to fight for and protect them. That treaty haunted Israel for centuries. Saul violated it later, and God sent a 3-year famine during David's reign because of it. And as a resolution, 7 of Saul's descendants were handed over by David to the Gibeonites to be executed. One moment of not stopping to pray, and generations paid the price. And then there's the uncomfortable truth. Joshua never trained a successor. Moses trained Joshua, but Joshua trained nobody. Joshua's leadership ended without a recorded succession plan. The moment he died, Israel fell apart. The entire chaotic nightmare of the book of Judges, seeds planted by one man's failure to invest in the next generation. He was irreplaceable, and he made no effort to become replaceable. That is a leadership failure we cannot ignore. Ditch the clickbait waste of time, fancy videos. Our channel, your sneaky addiction to epic deep dive stories that'll hook you hard. Stick around or snooze on empty calories on scrolls you'll regret. At about 110 years old, Joshua gathered all of Israel at Shechem. the very place where God first promised this land to Abraham, and gave them an ultimatum that still echoes today. Choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve, but as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. Not a suggestion, a challenge. Choose. And after his death, Scripture records this haunting tribute. Israel served the Lord throughout the lifetime of Joshua. The moment he died, the clock started ticking toward chaos. His presence was the glue. His life was the sermon. Joshua led the Israelites into the promised land, turning God's promise into possession. He is remembered as a faithful leader who completed Moses' mission and, in many respects, served in a prophet-like role because God speaks through him and by delivering God's commands to Israel. Just go ahead and check it out. What's the worst that could happen, right? Don't be a chicken. Here's what Joshua's life teaches us in one sentence. Faithfulness isn't glamorous. It's 40 years of service before your moment arrives. It's standing alone when the crowd wants to stone you. It's marching around walls that look absolutely unbreakable and trusting the shout. Joshua didn't have Moses' charisma. He didn't have David's poetry. He didn't have Solomon's wisdom. He just had obedience. And obedience, at the right moment, in the right hands, can stop the sun. Unlock conversation cheat code stories that turn you into the MVP at every hangout. Think secret menu content for people in the know. As the great Winston Churchill once said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And from the ancient words given to Joshua himself, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Oh, buckle up! If you don't get this, you could be staring at a pile of gold, and there you are, thinking it's just some fancy copper. A leader is forged not in comfort, but at the crossing. Courage is often what obedience looks like before it is understood, and for the love of God, pray before making a decision, and remember to train a successor. That's not just for Joshua, that's for you. Open up your mind and further enrich your understanding of well-researched knowledge, which is the foundation of true wisdom. Remember, it's essential to select content that offers something of value.